Good morning, everybody. In the section of odes, today we shall start with the second ode that is prescribed to us. The ode is written by Percy Bysshe Shelley, and the title of the ode is Ode to the West Wind. Percy Bysshe Shelley, 1792 to 1822, is one of the major English Romantic poets. Born in 1792 in Field Place, Horsham, England, he belongs to the second generation of the Romantic poets, along with John Keats, Lord Byron, and Robert Southey. Shelley is known for his personal, philosophical, and political traits. He is revolutionary, rebellious, atheist, anarchist, and anti monarchical in principles and practice. He openly criticized the English monarchy and the government. It was the age of social misery and political repression in England. The currents of the revolution were being felt in England, and he got distressed by the merciless act of ruthless authority in the Peterloo massacre incident. His reactions to this incident and his revolutionary fervor is reflected in his works like A Philosophical View of Reform that he published in 1820. Prometheus Unbound, that is also published in 1820, and The Mask of Anarchy in 1832. His poem England in 1819 carries a very strong political criticism of the contemporary monarchy and the government of England. His major works are Ozymandias, published in 1818, Ode to the West Wind, 1819, To a Skylark, 1820, the political ballad The Mask of Anarchy, published in 1819, the verse drama The Cenci, also published in the same year, and the long poems such as Alastair or The Spirit of Solitude that he published in 1815, Julian and Medallo, 1819, Adonais, 1821, Prometheus Unbound, 1820, Hellas, 1822, and his final unfinished work, The Triumph of Life, in 1822. His poem, The Ode to the West Wind, presents his philosophical contemplation, a bit rebellious in nature, but longing for an assured change in the world. The beautiful poem has got 5 stanzas. Let us do the first 2 stanzas in this video. The first stanza, as you could see in the slide, goes like this. Oh, wild west wind. In fact, if you observe the west wind, it carries the central idea of a massive change and presents a picturesque description of the cosmic impact of the west wind. In this ode, Shelley personifies the west wind and addresses it as a mighty wild spirit, the destroyer as well as the preserver. This attitude of the west wind is carried forwarded throughout the poem. He starts his poem, and in every stanza is addressed to the influence of the west wind on different things in nature. The first stanza explains the west wind's impact and its effects on the woods or the forest. So he starts his poem telling, O wild west wind, thou breath of autumn's being, autumn is the third season in the west. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter are the 4 seasons that we have. With the spring season, life begins, plants begin to grow, flowers begin to bloom, and in summer, entire nature is so full of beauty and mirth with flowers and fruits. The next season is autumn, which is also called as the fall. The fall would mean it is actually the fall of all the leaves. We might not experience the autumn or the fall in the way in which the West experiences, but in general, autumn is related to the rainy season in the Indian context, followed by the winter season, which is severe cold and extreme snowfall, covering the entire piece of earth with snow and killing everything on it. With spring again, the life begins. And it is in this way the entire cycle of life and death could be symbolically said with the seasons. Ode to the West Wind is an ode that is written by P.B. Shelley to the west wind which also communicates the onset of autumn season or the fall season. O wild west wind, thou breath of autumn's being, thou is you. This is the Old English. Thou is you. Thou from whose unseen presence the leaves dead are driven. Because it is the onset of autumn season, already the leaves have fallen down, and with the blow of the west wind, all these leaves are driven away like ghosts from an enchanter fleeing. What a wonderful symbol has been used by Shelley, telling that just like an enchanter or a magician or a black magic a person who casts spell on the ghosts will see that the ghosts are fled away. Fleeing is literally run away. The ghosts are fled away. Similarly, the blow of the west wind also drive away the dead leaves that are falling down on the earth. And the color of the leaves are yellow and black and pale and hectic red. It is such a beautiful imagery that the eyes start imagining the yellow colored leaves, the black colored leaves, the pale leaves, and the hectic red leaves. Pestilence stricken multitudes. So many leaves have fallen on the earth. It is as if people fall down and die after they are stricken by some infectious diseases. Pestilence is suffering from some infection which is contagious. Pestilence stricken multitude, so many leaves are there, yellow colored, black colored, pale colored, and red colored leaves are slowly departed from the tree and are fallen down on the earth, that it looks as if they are full of people who are suffering from some infections. What a poem to deal in a season like COVID-19 pandemic situation, where you could find literally observing on the televisions screens, maybe in the West, that people actually walking on the road because they are struck with COVID-19 fall away and die. And in places like Greece, Spain, you don't find the doctors attending to them. There is no time for them to go and get themselves admitted in the hospital, and you could find even the mortuary rooms are not empty to take care of the dead bodies. Now, this situation we actually had seen in this academic year, and that's what Shelley is trying to write. Pestilence stricken multitudes, many in number, as if everybody is suffering from some grave infectious disease and is falling down dead. Similarly, are these leaves fallen down from the tree, dead on the ground. O thou who chariotest to their dark wintry bed, you in fact become, you, the west wind. The west wind in fact becomes a chariot. As if you are collecting all these leaves in a chariot and you are taking the chariot ahead. Where? To the wintry bed of grave. The winged seeds, many of the plants will have the small seed followed by or maybe attached with small white colored wings, with the help of which they keep on floating and flying in the air, and thereby the seeds get dispersed to various places. Shelley here is referring to such type of winged seeds where they lie cold and low, each like a corpse. So this west wind not only is taking away the leaves, it is also taking away these winged seeds to different places where they lie in the cold wintry earth bed full of snow, each like a corpse within its grave. How are the seeds lying? Actually, every seed is potential to grow into the tree, provided it gets the right condition, right temperature, right soil, and little water. Till it gets the right temperature and soil and water, it lies like a corpse. Corpse is dead body. It lies like a dead body within its graves until thine azure sister, azure is blue color. So he's referring to three seasons here. He's talking about the west wind, which is blown in the autumn season, that blows away the leaves and the winged seeds to different places and disperses them, and they lie on their corpse dead. Why? Because autumn is followed by winter season, and in winter they lie in their graves dead. Till when? Till the azure sister of the spring shall blow. till they wait till the season changes from winter to spring. And in the spring season, we could find the ice melting down, the earth taking its roots, the seeds finding the earth and also water and suitable sunshine so that they take their birth. Thine azure sister, azure is dark blue color, azure sister of the spring shall blow her clarion. Clarion is a beautiful trumpet that is blown. The spring season comes with a great pomp and song and dance and trumpet. Why? Because life begins again after this cold, dead winter season. Her clarion over the dreaming earth till driving sweet buds like flocks of fed in air. All this ice that is accumulated, the snow that has fallen down is dispersed like the flakes of sweet buds in the air with living hues and odors. Plain and hill, hues is colors, odors is smells, with beautiful colors, because life begins in spring season. The plants grow up, the plants taking up their buds, buds blooming into flowers, the flowers growing into fruits. So you could find beautiful colors being seen on the nature. And along with that, we also could find the fruits with different odors, ODOURS, odors, different smells. Wild spirit, which art moving everywhere. Who is the wild spirit? The west wind is the wild spirit. Like a wild spirit, it is moving everywhere on the earth during the fall, during the autumn season, so that the leaves are dispersed, the seeds are dispersed, and they wait. They wait in the nature's lap as if it is a grave. They wait till the season changes from winter to spring. And in the spring season, in the suitable conditions, the winged seeds that are carry forwarded find their earth, find the water, find the sunshine, find the right atmosphere to spring up into the plants, bloom up into the flowers, and grow up into the fruits, so that the entire nature now is full of colors, the greenery of the leaves, the beautiful colors of the flowers, and the beautiful smells of the fruits. So it's full of living hues and odors, plain and hill, in the plains and in the hills. So everywhere throughout nature, you could find beautiful flowers blooming up, causing a great joy to the eyes, and wonderful fruits and their beautiful odors will fill the nostrils with excellent smells. Wild spirit, which art moving over everywhere, destroyer and preserver. So you are the destroyer. You are destroying because the leaves are falling down because of you. The leaves are carried to the grave because of you. The seeds are dispersed and are kept in the graves because of you. In that way, you are destroying nature because you announce the onset of winter. But you're also the preserver of nature, because after winter, definitely the spring comes and these seeds get their right conditions to bloom up, to develop into the plants, and life again begins. So it is the cyclicity of life. You have the life, and then you have the plants coming up, then flowers, then fruits, and then seeds. And with this, we have the onset of autumn. So in the spring, the life begins. In the summer, the life enjoys, grows, and enjoys to the maximum. In the autumn or in the third season, the rainy season, the fall comes, causing the fall of the flowers as well as the fruits as well as the leaves. The entire plant remains very barren without even a single leaf in the west. With the onset of the west wind, it destroys the plants, and nature would mean that no leaves, no flowers, no fruits in the autumn season. And they are all carry forwarded, dispersed here and there on nature. And with the onset of winter, the fourth season, you could see that all these winged seeds are lying quiet and still as if they are lying in the graves. But they are not dead. They wait for the right time. Winter gets over and the spring begins. With the beginning of the spring, again the life begins. And the seeds germinate into the plants, and they have the flowers which are so beautifully colored. They have the fruits which are excellently ordered, and that is how the life continues. So, in general, west wind is responsible for destroying as well as preserving life on the earth. So it is a destroyer and the preserver. Hear, oh hear, So he's calling all of us to hear. What a beautiful stanza to open. Let's read the stanza together. O wild west wind, thou breath of autumn's being, thou from whose unseen presence the leaves dead are driven like ghosts from an enchanter fleeing. Yellow and black and pale and hectic red, pestilence stricken multitudes, O thou who chariotest to their dark wintry bed. The winged seeds, where they lie cold and low, each like a corpse with its grave, until thine azure sister of the spring shall blow her clarion over the dreaming earth, and fill driving sweet buds like flocks to feed in the air, with living hues and odors plain and hill. Wild spirit, what art moving everywhere? Wild spirit, which art moving everywhere, destroyer and preserver, hear, oh, hear. The Ode to the West Wind begins with a very beautiful first stanza that, in fact, is the impact of west wind on the woods. It is impossible to see the mighty wind, but its invisible presence is felt strongly. It drives away the dead leaves, which are yellow in color, black, pale, hectic red, and many are diseased, from the forest like an enchanter who drives away the ghosts. Along with the dead and the diseased leaves, the wind also carries away seeds and spreads them on the ground where they lie deep into the earth as the dead bodies lie in the graves. The wind performs the function of a destroyer of the dead and the diseased leaves, as well as it performs the role of a preserver. It carries the seeds to be buried deep in the ground. The seeds wait for the coming of the sister of the winter wind, that is, the spring season, and then the seeds once again come to life and fill the earth with vegetation, color, and order. So, the first stanza talks about the influence of west wind on the woods. The second stanza talks about the influence of the west wind on the sky. Let's see as to what the poet says. Thou on whose stream, amid the steep sky's commotion, loose clouds like earth's decaying leaves are shed, shook from the tangled boughs of heaven and ocean. What a wonderful thing. On the earth, you could find all the leaves that are diseased and dried and drop down. And in the sky, you could see the loose clouds that are moving about on the earth's decaying leaves are shed, shook from the tangled mixed boughs of heaven and ocean. Now, this brings about the laws of physics that clouds are formed only because of the heat of summer sun, and as a result of which the water in the oceans and rivers and lakes evaporates to form the clouds. So thou on whose stream you blow so strong that in the steep sky's commotion you could find the loose clouds here and there moving about, which are formed because of the tangled boughs, mixed boughs of heaven and ocean. So in the sky, it is the clouds that are being talked about. The west wind is responsible for bringing about these clouds and maybe the rainfall also. Angels of rain and lightning. Not only the clouds are moved by west wind, but the winds also bring rain and lightning. There are spread on the blue surface of thine airy surge. Surge is a sudden increase, flood sort of thing, like the bright hair uplifted from the head. How are the uh, thunder and lightning and rain that has been brought about? On the blue surface of the sky, you could find suddenly these clouds coming up with thunder, with lightning, and with rainfall, as if like the bright hair uplifted from the head, as if the hair of is lifted up from the head. Suddenly the rainfall comes up because of the blowing of the west wind and the movement of the clouds in the sky. Of some fierce Maynard. Maynard is taken from the Greek philosophy, which would mean an excessively emotional wild woman who is dancing, even from the dim verge of the horizon of the zenith's height. Zenith is a beautiful word. Zenith is the highest point in the sky. The locks of the approaching storm. Just like the hair, the bright hair of the that is uplifted from the head of some fearful, some emotional and wild woman's head, all of a sudden. Similarly, the clouds also move all of a sudden in the sky, bringing about the thunder and the lightning and the storm and the rain all of a sudden. The imagery that is used is as the hair of the woman tangles and get moved and falls down. Similarly, the clouds are getting tangled in the sky and they fall down on the earth in the form of rain. This is the imagery that is used. Thou dirge of the dying year, to which this closing night will be the dome of a vast sepulchre. Thou dirge. Dirge is a very beautiful word. Dirge would mean a sad song that is sung. It is like elegy, a sad song that is sung. So, with the onset of the west wind, with the blowing of the west wind, it is as if somebody is singing a sad song. Why is the song sad? Will be the dome of vast sepulchre, because everything is going to be dead thereafter. After the west wind comes, it is autumn changing into winter, and winter is a season which is symbolic of death, destruction, no life. Nature, which is completely barren, cold with snow. So it is as if somebody is singing a sad song with the onset of west wind. Somebody is singing a sad song which announces that there is a dome of vast sepulchre. Sepulchre is tomb. Vaulted with all thy congregated might. Congregated? Concentrated. You are blowing so powerfully, O west wind, the poet says to the west wind. It is as if the end or the death is announced, the sepulchre is announced. It is as if the dome that is closing down is announced, of vapors from whose solid atmosphere black rain and fire and hail will burst. Oh, here, as if you bring about the black rain, the fire, the hail, everything is dropping down from the sky. The clouds are moving about and it is coming down in the form of a rain and is blocking and is becoming the tomb, covering. It is becoming a sepulchre, maybe the dome that is covering the sepulchre, because it is almost the onset of winter. So the second stanza talks about the influence of the west wind on the sky. Let us read the stanza again continuously. Thou on whose stream, amid the steep sky's commotion, loose clouds like earth's decaying leaves are shed, shook from the tangled bows of heaven and ocean. Angels of rain, lightning, there are spread on the blue surface of thine airy surge, like the bright hair uplifted from the head of some fierce Maenad, even from the dim verge of the horizon to the zenith's height, the locks of the approaching storm. Thou dirge of the dying year. The year is going to get end, because our winter would mean that it's almost December on the same year, same time when we are discussing this poem, almost the end of the year. Of the dying year, to which the closing night will be the dome of a vast sepulchre, vaulted with all thy congregated might, of vapors from whose solid atmosphere black rain and fire and hail will burst. Oh, here. The second stanza outlines the wind's impact on the sky, as we could see. The wind carries away the loose clouds in the sky to a vast dome where they would be stored for some time until they come down on the earth in the form of heavy rains, thunder, and storm, and lightning. Here too, the wind performs the duty of the destroyer and the preserver. Destroyer because it is killing everybody. The clouds are getting broken in the form of water. But when the water comes down, maybe after the winter season, this water is helpful for preserving the life, because the seeds germinate only if the water is present. So it is doing double work of destroyer as well as preserver. With this, we come to the end of the second stanza. We'll continue the discussion of the remaining three stanzas of Ode to the West Wind written by P.B. Shelley in the next video. Bye for now.